Hello everyone, it's Jen. I'm back with another project for the Not2Shabby Shop. Today I'm featuring the stamp set by Trinity Stamps called Cozy Bear. It's so sweet with all of this indoor furniture, the sofa, the lamp, and then we have the little bear with his feet up on the ottoman from the little lounger chair. So I decided to pair this with the Into the Woods Remix paper pad by Fawn. I thought some of these patterns would be really fun for furniture, so we're going to do a lot of paper piecing today. I'm also bringing in this awesome Slimline die from Trinity Stamps, and this is called, I think it's the Home stamp set. It will be listed below in the featured products section. And I also will have all of the products that I'm using in today's video. So I started off with the stamping. I just wanted to show you here that I masked off that book before stamping my image of the bear on the little chair here. And you can have him holding a book or a coffee cup. And the really neat thing is they have the little edge cut out of the bottom, so it's super easy to stamp. So there's only going to be a little bit of coloring today. As I mentioned, I'm going to be doing mostly paper piecing for this scene card. I decided to use my Copic markers today, so I have the colors listed for you on the top of the left-hand side of the screen with the darkest marker at the top and then moving through to the lightest marker on the bottom. So for the bear, I decided to use E29 as my darkest color, E27 as my midtone, and then E25 as the lightest color. So a really nice, easy 3-color blend here. So I'm having it so that the lightest color is to the forefront of his body there. So kind of highlighting his face, a little bit on his arm, the top of it, his belly, and then the top of his leg. Now I did color up the books on the shelf here, but I didn't end up using it. So you will see me color this. I was thinking about bringing in each of the colors from the pattern paper for the books, but in the end it just didn't fit with my scene, but you will see what I use on the wall instead. So just to add a little bit of color to his cheeks, I used the E04. And then for his nose, I used E49, which those two colors I really like to use with brown or darker colored critters. So for the green, to match my pattern paper, I'm using YG17, YG03, and YG21. So just leaving a little bit of a highlight in the center of that lamp. And this lamp reminds me of an old IKEA lamp I had back in university. It had a green shade just like this. So that was kind of fun to color it similar to that and kind of have that memory. So for the oranges, I'm using YR09, Y38, and Y17. And then for the blue, I'm using B02, B00, and then B000. For the white, I'm just using the C3 marker. Well, for the silver, actually, I wanted to have it like a stainless steel post for my lamp. And then for the pages of the book as well. And for the book, I just used my colorless blender. So for the kitty, I wanted to use my warm grays. I'm using W3 and W1, and then blending out that with the colorless blender, and then R20 for his cheeks. So I'm going to use my mini Misti here. This is a stamping platform. And as you can see, I've cut out some of the pattern paper from the 6x6 paper pad. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp the images over top of the pattern paper. So at first I thought I was going to use that green kind of diamond pattern for the couch, but I actually thought the more subtle blue and white polka dot paper would be good for the couch, and then I would have the accent chair in that kind of more busier olive green and diamond pattern. So when you're cutting your pattern paper for paper piecing, you want to make sure that you're cutting on that black line. So I was just showing you a bit there what I was doing, and then I'm going to go ahead now and stamp out the pattern paper for the little throw that I want to have over the couch. And for this one, I'm going to go ahead and cut those tassels off, just cutting on that black line where there's a little bit of detail at the bottom and then around the top. So to make life easier for you, instead of cutting around all those tassels on the blanket, I'm just going ahead and stamping that right over top of the sofa. And I didn't quite get my image to the top, so I'm just going to use my black marker there and fill in that gap. And then it looks really seamless. I can go ahead and add the blanket or throw now on top of my little sofa, and I think that looks so cute. Another tip for paper piecing is to outline all of your images with a black marker. This just helps hide any imperfections and just makes it look really seamless. So I'm using my Memento black marker. I did decide to add the sofa to some white cardstock just so it would match the same depth as the other images. So the little bear here on his chair, I wanted them to be the same height, and because I was adding the pattern paper from the chairs on top of that chair, I chose to do that for the sofa. Now I've gone ahead and created the background here. So I cut out the largest panel 3 times. One from Neenah Desert Storm cardstock, that's the lightest white cardstock, and then this kind of chocolate brown cardstock, and I just trimmed each of the different panels. So I left the light khaki color, the Neenah Desert Storm, a full panel. I cut out the wainscoting, or I forget, chariot, whatever you call the white piece in the background with the detailing. And then I cut off the dark brown color and then just pieced those together. So I love this. It gives you the flooring. It gives you that decorative wall edge. And then you also have all of these other fun elements like this window and curtains and a curtain rod. So I'll show you all of those. And this paper pad was just perfect for creating this little scene. There's this pattern paper with the clouds, and I thought that would be perfect for my little outdoor scene. So I've gone ahead and I've cut out the window pane with some white cardstock, and I'm just adhering that to the pattern paper here. And I'm going to tuck that behind my little bear reading. So he's in front of the window on a nice fall afternoon enjoying his book. And then I'm going to add the curtain panels, and these are really fun because they have embossed details on them. So I decided to cut the curtains and the rug out of that same pattern paper, which is the striped diagonal that has all the colors from the paper pad in it. So I'm just going to adhere my window down. I did cut the curtain rod out of some cardstock from Tonic Studios. This is kind of like that silver mirror paper, so I thought that was really fun because it gave you that kind of stainless steel look for a curtain rod. So just adhering that on top of the window panel, and then I'm going to add my curtains to either side of the window. How fun is this die set? I feel like I'm going to use this a lot. It'll be great for an indoor Christmas scene as well, with a Christmas tree perhaps, or kids opening presents. I just love this die set. I think Trinity Stamps has come out with some really unique Slimline products, and so I'm so thrilled to have this in my collection. So you can see here, I'm just trying to figure out where I want my sofa to be. So I'm going to have that a little bit more to the back just because it does appear to be a bit smaller than the chair and our bear. So I wanted to have that to the background a little bit. So things that are further away tend to appear smaller. I'm going to have the lamp beside that. And then before I glue anything else down, I'm going to get my bear here in place. He is just so cute. I love that he's sitting with his feet up on the ottoman, just kind of chilling. And the sentiments in this stamp set are fantastic. There's no place like home. Put your feet up and relax, which is the one that really corresponds well with our little bear friend here. And that's the one that I'm using on the card today. There's Let Me Tell You a Story, It's Time to Get Cozy, and Just One More Chapter, and then also Happy Hibernation. So I decided to stamp my sentiment over top of the sofa, And now I'm just going to add a little bit of shading to the paper piecing. So you could have left it as is. This is just an extra step that really kind of brings that paper piecing to life. So I'm just going to use a C1 marker here, and I'm going to add that to where I would normally add my shadows if I were coloring these images with markers. So you can see here just adding some of that, and it really gives the pattern paper some depth and dimension. So I'm going to add those shadows underneath the bear and where his back is leaning on the chair, and then around the front of the carpet, also in the folds of the sofa, and it just gives a little bit more of a finished look. So I would encourage you to give that a try with your paper piecing if you haven't yet. You can also go a lot darker. I just went with the C1, but you could also do the C3 and blend that out with the C1 if you want a darker shadow. So now I'm just finishing off here with my white gel pen for some highlights. I thought I was finished the card here, and after a few more details, I turned the camera off, and then I felt like there was something missing between the curtains and the sofa. So originally when I was thinking about this card, I was going to have the books on the bookshelf, but I just didn't like the way they ended up looking once I cut them out. So I decided to use one of the picture frames from the die set. So there's two separate picture frames that you could use. So I'm just going to add the picture frame here to some acetate. Just trying to make sure I get that glue off. Now with the art glitter glue, it does dry clear, so I don't really have to worry about that if I get a little bit on that acetate. And I'm actually using overhead projector sheets. I get them off of Amazon, and they are really inexpensive to purchase. So you can use acetate on all of your projects, and it's really affordable. But I just keep a little bin of scraps, so that worked out perfectly for this picture frame. So there was this really fun pattern paper in the paper pad that had all of these little critters and outdoor scenes on it, and so I chose the fox, and I made my own picture for the wall. So I thought that one was really fun to make your own kind of art, and I feel like adding this picture frame just added the last little bit I needed to bring the cohesion of this entire room together. So that's the card for today. I hope you enjoyed the coloring, but also learning a little bit more about adding depth and dimension to your paper piecing projects. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you all really soon. Take care. Have a fabulous day, everyone.